Hello, everyone, and welcome to kind of a post-game reaction to the Eagles and Vikings game that just went final a couple minutes ago. So let's get into it. So obviously, this was a game in which kind of the Eagles got out to a lead, and then the Vikings just kind of chipped away at it and had made it interesting in the end, but weren't able to, able to complete the comeback. So let's go ahead and get into how the kind of quick recap of the game. So Eagles on their first drive, big catch by Devontae Smith. And they couldn't get into the end zone with it. Obviously, it's just a field goal, make it 3-0. Kind of a big matchup in this game. I kind of wrote down my notes of Slay versus Jefferson. Obviously, Jefferson got his. Slay made a couple big plays to stop him. But in the end of the day, I'd say Jefferson had a pretty good game, and Slay got the W. So I guess both guys kind of, whatever. Vikings on their first position end up punting the ball. The Eagles on their second position punt the ball to the Vikings. But then the Vikings on the punt return fumble. Then Hurts throws an interception. Then the Vikings fumble again. And then Eagles miss a field goal. Then it kind of returns to some normalcy here with Hawkinson getting the receiving touchdown. At that point, whatever. So then the Eagles say, okay, let's calm down here. There's a lot of action going on. Let's just slow it down. Let's play some smash mouth football. And yeah, they just pounded the ball down the Vikings' throats. Ended up scoring, ended up going on a long drive, and Hurts completed that long drive with a 1-yard touchdown. So then, obviously, the Vikings get the ball back, and they start driving the ball down the field, and Jefferson ends up fumbling the ball out of the back of the end zone. At first, they rule it, it went out of bounds before, and then all of a ssudden they look at it and say, nope, he was over the pylon, which it looks like it was, so I agree with that call. Obviously, then the Eagles were able to convert that into a Elliott 61-yard field goal. Then coming out at halftime, Kirk Cousins fumbled. Jalen Hurts gets another rushing touchdown. The Vikings punt. And then Devontae Smith got open, and he's able to get a 63-yard touchdown pass. So it's obviously at this point 27-7. Vikings kind of starting to have some issues. But then Addison gets wide open for a huge touchdown for the Vikings that kept them in it, makes it 27-14. Then they trade punts. The Vikings really do try to give the game to the Eagles. Harrison Phillips goes off sides, but sadly, but they do end up getting some luck as the Eagles, they get away with a pass interference that, again, bang bang play. I understand why it was missed. And then the Eagles punt. So then, obviously, the Vikings get the ball back and they convert, and KJ Osborne gets a touchdown. And then the Eagles, decide, we better tighten back up, And DeAndre Swift has a huge run, and then another, finishes that off. They gave it to him so he could finish what he started, obviously, so touchdown. Obviously, late in the game, T.J. Hawkinson gets a touchdown to kind of keep it so that, if they get the onside kick or, can stop the Eagles, they can maybe have a chance. Obviously, that didn't materialize. And they do get a stop, but there's just not enough time left for them to do anything. There was like 7 seconds after the punt. So, weren't able to do anything. Eagles end up winning this game. I think in the end, I think the Eagles got to win, and they're not playing their best football. And the Vikings are certainly, in a spot where they're 0-2 and, watching the Lions, hoping that they could lose some games. But at the end of the day, we'll see about that. So just some quick kind of rundown on stats. Jalen Hurts was 18 of 23 for 193 yards. Got it both touchdown and a interception. DeAndre Swift was the star of this game. If he were given MVP, it'd be maybe him, or maybe he would be the MVP. He just made such an impact in this game. 28 carries, 175 yards, and that touchdown, obviously, that ended up being the game-winning touchdown. Devontae Smith also had 4 receptions for 131 yards, 2 giant ones. Yeah. On the other side, you got Kirk Cousins. He didn't play that bad of a game. I know he kind of gets a bad rap, and I even made a joke about that in my video. But, he played a pretty decent game, 31 of 44, 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's not a bad stat line. The Vikings, he just didn't get any help. The flat out 8 attempts for 28 yards for Madison. That's not going to get cut it, Matson. And, Justin Jefferson had a huge game, obviously. 11 receptions for 159 yards. And so, touchdown, and obviously for receiving-wise, touchdowns were Addison, Hawkinson with 2, and then KJ Osborne had the other, and he made a couple big drops. But yep. So yeah. So that was the game. Again, the Eagles won, and yeah, we will see you for some other stuff. Anyway, guys, I will see. Thank you so much for watching. In the morning, I'll have the kind of a Purdue versus Syracuse kind of thing for kind of again geared toward Purdue fans. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But anyway, guys, see you then. Bye.